Hello guys and welcome to our new video. In this time we will be talking about double click 3, especially unit 5. Today we will be covering lesson A and lesson B, which is called tasty treats. So let's begin. As for this unit, in this lesson A and B, you are going to be able to understand the food types by using the food pyramid. Also, learn food vocabulary, as well as talk about common recipes at a restaurant. Then learn the vitamins and minerals present in some food, encounter cooking methods and food preparation verbs, and use containers to talk about quantities. So let's go first with the lesson A. In this lesson A, we have the food pyramid. The food pyramid contains on the different elements that are in order of eating. As you know, there are different elements, different food elements, and there's this food pyramid that we will see in a moment, which is mainly conceptualized with 4 different levels. So depending on the level, we will have different food for each category. For instance, right here, we have the carbohydrates. Right here, we have the vegetables and fruits. Right here, we have proteins, dairy products, and on top, we have fat and sugar. As you can see on these pictures with images describing examples of these elements. So here we go. The food pyramid consists on having the most at the bottom of the pyramid and the least on the top of the pyramid, considering this as level of importance. So you're supposed to consume, according to the pyramid, more of what's at the bottom than what's on top. For instance, you have the carbohydrates, which are here. As you can see in the examples, you have different elements that are mainly based on cereal and grains, because most of them come from cereal and grain. As you see here, bread, okay, cookies, pretzels, and others, they all come from flour. And flour comes from cereal, which is corn flour or wheat flour. Okay, then you have pasta, which also comes from wheat flour. Okay, then you have the vitamins and minerals. The vitamins and minerals are conceived here on the second group. Also the herbs. So as part of that, you have fruits, vegetables, water, and herbs. Here, some examples of fruits are bananas, okay, apples, okay, and examples of vegetables, you have corn, onions, pepper. Also herbs, you have celery, you have asparagus, and others. Then water, it's also included in this level. If we go up to the third level, we have proteins, which are mainly based on meat and poultry. Meat has to do with usually mammals, for instance, cow, but not cow in this case, beef, okay, and then pork, okay. Then you have poultry. Poultry has to do with birds. So dog, okay, chicken, okay, turkey, all these are part of the poultry group. And then seafood, okay, seafood contains fish, in this picture shrimp, okay, lobster, octopus, and others. You also have beans, as red beans, white beans, different beans. And nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are not in this picture, but nuts are like peanut, coconut, almonds. And then seeds, you have chia, okay, cashews, okay, and dairy products are the products that come from milk, such as cheese, milk, including eggs that are not in this group. I mean, are not made of milk, but they are in this category, in the dairy products category. Then on top, you have fat, oil, and sugar, which is supposed to be the category you eat the least. Here you have chocolate, sweets, oil, and others. So let's talk about the vocabulary on the unit, okay? And we will observe with the pictures in order, according to, let me change the color to this, according to this order, okay? We will be describing with pictures all these elements. So here we have corn, milk, oil, zucchini, which is similar to cucumber, but it's different because inside there are no seeds. Bread, garlic, fish, eggs. Then we have chocolate, mushrooms, rice, cauliflower, meat, pineapple, pasta, broccoli, turkey, yogurt, bananas, peanuts, okay? Then we have here eggplants, asparagus, kiwis, cashews. Cashews, you can eat the fruit and also the seeds. Grapes, lemon, strawberries, almonds, mango, blueberries, beans, watermelon. Then we have oranges, apples, steak, shrimp. Well, the picture of shrimp is not here, but it's this one, shrimp, okay? Haddock, cheesecake, honey, mustard, salmon, chocolate cake, cucumber, shellfish. Shellfish is seafood, so all of these are part of the shellfish group. Spinach, tiramisu, and pears. So now let's get into the conversation so that we can analyze the pronunciation and also the vocabulary.
Are you ready to order?
Yes. Can you please tell me what today's specials are?
Sure, ma'am. Today we have baked salmon in a creamy mushroom sauce with flaked almonds on top.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Then there's sirloin steak with a spicy tomato and pepper sauce.
Oh, unfortunately, I can't eat anything spicy.
Well, we also have roast lamb served with a honey mustard sauce.
That sounds wonderful. I'll have that, please.
And for you, sir?
I'll have the steak.
How would you like it?
Medium rare. No, on second thought, I'd rather have it well done.
Okay, thank you.
So here we have the waiter, Marta and Tony, who are at a restaurant. And the waiter asks if they're ready to order, meaning if they already decided what they're going to eat. So then Marta says, yes, can you please tell me what today's special are? The specials refer to what they have to offer as the restaurant for the day. And then they go with, sure, ma'am. Ma'am is used in English to refer to female. Sir is used in English to refer to male. Both are French terms, but they are used in English, especially when you want to be formal. So instead of using miss or using Mr., you will use ma'am and sir at a restaurant, at a hotel, at many places. Okay? Then you have, today we have baked salmon. Baked salmon is one of the recipes of the restaurant. Baked salmon is salmon that was previously at the oven or in the oven. In a creamy mushroom sauce. Creamy means full of cream. Creamy is an adjective. And mushroom, as we saw before, is used for sauce. And then flaked almonds on top. Flaked, as cornflakes, is when you cut something in very thin proportions. So Then the waiter says that there's sirloin steak. Sirloin steak is a type of steak that we will see later with a picture to describe it. And with a spicy tomato and pepper sauce. Spicy because it's hot, as in chili peppers. Spicy indicates that taste. Then Marta implies that she cannot eat anything spicy, so that's not a good dish for her. Then the waiter offers roast lamb. Lamb, it's a baby sheep, okay, and served with a honey mustard sauce. Honey mustard is a combination of honey and mustard. And then Marta decides to take that. Later, Tony prefers to have the steak. When the waiter asks how would you like it, he talks about the cooking level of a steak, which is medium rare. In a moment, we will see a picture of that too. And then he decides a different thing. So he says, on second thought, meaning he changes his mind, okay? He changes his mind. So he says, on second thought, I would rather have it well done. So well done means cooked 100%. That's for meat, okay? And then they go as, okay, thank you. We will see more of this, of the meat levels in a moment. So let's go with the conversation B.
Something smells good. What are you cooking, Lauren?
I'm cooking a special meal for Tom's birthday.
That's nice of you. What's on the menu?
I'm making fish and roasted potatoes.
Sounds delicious. What's for dessert?
I'm going to make a chocolate cake. It's his favorite.
Yum. Lauren, what's that smell?
Oh no, the fish is burning. Quick, turn off the oven.
So here, Brian and Lauren, they're having a conversation about what Lauren is going to cook for for Tom's birthday. Brian says that something smells good, apparently because she's cooking something delicious. And then Brian says, oh, that's nice of you that you are cooking for Lauren. For Tom. That's a great thing you're doing. Everybody likes people who cook for them on their birthdays, especially if it's your favorite food. And then he says, I'm making fish and roasted potatoes. Roasted potatoes, they come with fire, okay, on it. And then it's a recipe that has some herbs on the potatoes. And then Brian says, what's for dessert? Dessert, remember, are sweet things. And then Lauren says that she's making chocolate cake. Then Brian uses this interjection, yum, indicating that it's delicious. But then all of a sudden, Brian says, what's the smell? And then, unfortunately, the fish is burning quick, so fast, turn off the oven. There, Lauren is having a problem with the food. Apparently, she got distracted. So let's get into conversation C, and now there we go.
So, Joyce, are we all set for the dinner party on Saturday?
Not really. I haven't decided what I'm going to cook yet. It's hard to choose dishes that everybody will like. Do you have any ideas?
What about shrimp cocktails for hors d'oeuvres? Most people like them.
Yes, but Gordon's allergic to shrimp.
Oh, well, how about a nice vegetable soup? You can't go wrong with that.
Okay, but what about the main course?
Well, most people like chicken, don't they?
Yes, except Sarah is a vegetarian.
Does she like pasta? I could make vegetable lasagna with a rich cheese sauce.
That would be great. Are you sure you can handle that?
Leave it to me. Now what about dessert?
I've got that covered. I'm making my special cherry cheesecake.
Great! I can't wait!
All right, so here we have Jeremy and Joyce, which are both talking about a special activity they having here. It starts by saying, are we all set? All set if everything is ready for the dinner party. And then Joyce goes like, no, really, I haven't decided what I'm going to cook, so she's not ready yet. It's hard to choose dishes, recipes, right, that everybody would like. And then she asks for ideas. Do you have any ideas? Jeremy says, what about shrimp cocktails for hors d'oeuvres? Hors d'oeuvres are appetizers, okay? In this particular example, Shrimp cocktails is the appetizer. It's a French term that is used in English. Okay, hors d'oeuvres. And then she says, well, Gordon is allergic to shrimp, so he cannot eat shrimp because he's allergic. It brings reaction on his body. And then she goes like, oh, well, how about a nice vegetable soup? A vegetable soup, well, you know, a vegetable soup is more interesting because it shouldn't go wrong. Nobody will be allergic to that. That's why he says you can't go wrong with that. Like everything should be perfect. Then he goes like okay, but what about the main course? The main course, remember, is the main dish, is the real food. Okay. Then he goes as okay. Most people like chicken, but unfortunately, there's another person who also has a problem, and it's Sarah. Sarah is a vegetarian. Then they opt for pasta with a vegetable lasagna with a rich cheese sauce. Rich means that it has plenty of that. So with a rich cheese sauce, the sauce has lots of cheese. That'll be great, Joyce implies. Are you sure you can handle that? If you can handle that, you can work with something. You can manage something, okay? That's handle. And then Jeremy says, leave it to me. Leave it to me is like, don't worry about it. So I'll get it, okay? I have it covered. And then Joyce says that dessert, it's on her. So Joyce has no problem with dessert. She's going to make a cherry cheesecake. So everything should be smooth after that, after they planned what they're going to do for the party. So let's move forward onto lesson B. Here in lesson B, we have some vocabulary that talks about how important food is in terms of vitamins and minerals. As you know, vitamins and minerals come in mainly fruits and vegetables, but they are also part of others, such as the ones in the pictures. So we have vitamins A, and in vitamin A, we have fish, broccoli, butter, and carrots, and this vitamin is good for your eyes. Then we have B complex, where we have milk, meat, eggs, nuts, and seeds, and also grains. And this helps our bodies process the food that we eat. Then vitamin C includes citrics. C for citrics. We have here lemon, orange, broccoli, and is good for our bones and teeth. Then we have vitamin D, which includes eggs, milk, cheese, and butter, and helps our bones grow correctly. In vitamins E, we have lettuce, broccoli, we have nuts and seeds, and also grains, and this keeps our skin healthy. Then if we move on to the minerals, we have iron. Iron comes in broccoli, okay, spinach, eggs, and meat, and this maintains healthy blood cells. Then we have calcium. Calcium comes in milk, yogurt, and cheese, and it promotes growth of healthy bones and teeth. Later we have potassium. Potassium comes in banana and meat, and it's good for our muscles and nerves. Then we have sodium, which comes in seafood. As you can see in the picture, we have lobster, crab, shrimp, oysters, and others. And also salt and cheese. And this helps us retain the right amount of water in our bodies. Last but not least, we have zinc, which comes in meat, eggs, mushrooms, grains, and seeds, and cereal too, and it helps our bodies process carbon dioxide. These are just examples. You have more, of course, benefits of this food and also other food that it's included into this vitamin and minerals examples, okay? Then we have the cooking vocabulary. Cooking vocabulary is divided into groups. Groups where you actually cook, and also the group where you are actually preparing the food. So it's like the pre-cooking and the cooking itself. Here in the pre-cooking, we have add is when you include additional elements to the food, okay, like add salt. Bake is when you put something onto the oven as baking cookies. Barbecue is when you cook on this barbecue instrument, and the meat is usually direct into the grill. There you have beat, which is moved constantly, like eggs. Blend is when you use this object, which is a blender. You can blend juice, you can blend others. Boil is when you cook in very hot water. Break is when you separate, for example, an egg, you break an egg. Chop is when you cut, usually vegetables. Then cook in general is the verb, as to prepare the food. Cut is when you separate two parts, especially meat. Drain is when you remove the water that's into vegetables, for instance. Fry is when you cook in very hot oil. Grate is when you use this instrument, which is a grater. You can grate carrots, cheese. Knead is when you use a dot. A dot as when you're going to prepare donuts. Okay, you have a dot, and you moving your hands, you mix until you get a consistency on this dough. Okay, this is used for empanadas, for um, donuts, and many others. Measure is to use a unit as these spoons or others to check the amount of something. And melt is to apply fire, for example, into butter so that it becomes liquid. Another group of verbs here, you have microwave. Microwave is to cook into the microwave. You can simply heat the food or cook something as in the stove. Mix is to put two ingredients together. Peel is to remove the skin of vegetables or fruits. Pour is to put some liquid onto solid, as the picture shows here, chocolate, hot chocolate. Then roast is to prepare meat onto the oven. Scramble is for eggs. It's when you cook eggs, mixing them very quickly. Sift is when you use this instrument to filter the flour and have it into very, very thin layers. Then slice is to cut tomatoes or bread or cheese into thin layers. Sprinkle is to add a little bit of salt, or in this example, sugar, white sugar, onto this dough. Squeeze is what you do with lemons and oranges, where you use your hands and you gently or hardly extract the liquids. Stir is to move constantly, like when you add sugar onto your coffee. Stir fry is when you cook in very little oil, some vegetables, for instance, as the picture shows. Tenderize is to heat the meat so that it's softer when you cook it. Wash is simply wash, adding water into it. Weigh is to calculate how many pounds something has. And then whisk is to use this instrument, a whisker, to mix the eggs. Of course, there are more verbs that you can read about on the internet. If we move forward now, this exercise to check your comprehension, we will have here, let me use a different color. We often eat scrambled eggs for breakfast. I don't want to gain weight, so I usually eat fish or chicken. So here it should be grill. Put some fried or grated cheese on the pizza. For the pizza, you use grated cheese. And slice mashed bread to make the sandwiches. So she cut the bread, right? You need lots of diced grated fruit to make a fruit salad. Diced is to cut, okay, in the shape of dices. Remember, these are dices where you have numbers here, numbers here, numbers here. When you cut in the same shape of dice, it's dice. French fries are fried, obviously. French fries are potatoes in thin portions where you fry them. Grilled fish with diced boiled vegetables. This is a low-fat meat. Low-fat meaning no very fat. So boil vegetables because you cook in hot water. Okay? Here we have food and drinks, okay, to answer the question. So whole wheat or white? Here's a picture of the difference. So it's about the color and the level of processing of the wheat. So here, whole wheat or white is for bread. Okay, Then you have mineral or tap. Mineral or tap refers tap. This is the element in some countries, like in the States, and not all states, but in some, you can drink water directly from the tap. So this refers to water. Black or with milk, it's simple. It's a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee can be black or with milk. One lump or two, this refers to sugar. Okay, sugar comes in lumps, especially when you have an activity at home and there's this for you to add to your coffee. Fresh or frozen, this is commonly used for fish. It's quite simple. Now let's talk about meat. As I told you before, here we have the cooking levels for meat. Here we have rare, which is the one that is cooked the least because it's almost red. Medium rare will be like a quarter of cooking, and it's still red. Okay, it's not so much cooked. Okay, then you have medium. Medium is half cook. Okay, half cook. It's like 50%. Then medium well, which is like 75% of cooking. Okay, and then you have well or well done, which is 100% cooked. As you can see, meat color changes tremendously. So medium or that refers to steak. This is only for steak. Not all type of meat follows this process. Then finally, fried or baked. Okay, we have in fried or baked, we have potatoes. Okay, quite easy. Here, when we talk about menus, we need to remember that you have appetizers or entrance, okay? And you have also the main course. The appetizers are the first things that you eat that are to welcome you at the restaurant. Then the main course corresponds to the principal, the real food, the main things. The side dishes are things that accompany the main course. For instance, you can have meat and then have just some mashed potatoes with it. Then you have the desserts, which are the things that are usually sweet, as you can see in these examples. And you also have the drinks or beverages. This can be alcoholic, non-alcoholic, as juice, non-alcoholic, water, coffee, and then alcoholics as whiskey, rum, others. Okay, they can also be divided into levels of hot, spicy, but that's depending on the restaurant. So this is how you conceive a menu in general. Okay, so when we talk about containers to use for the food, or not only for food but for other elements, we have to consider these elements in here. Okay, let's see. For instance, a pack is like potato chips, okay, or cookies, where you have better for cookies. Okay, you have a pack of cookies. Okay, then a tub, okay, this right here. Well, my apologies, this one is a tube. Tube is, okay, for instance, if you have Colgate, okay, Colgate, there's a difference between this one and this one. Okay, so if you have here, for instance, okay, and then this part right here, okay, this is, okay, a tube, okay, a tube. So a tube is mainly for things that are not to be eaten. So here you have pasta such as Colgate, or you have a lotion for your body, okay, lotion or cream, okay. But then when you have a tub, it's like the one you have for margarine. It's a plastic container, okay, for margarine, okay. So then you have a jar. It's for frickles, Okay, you can have frickles, you can have marmalade. Okay, you can also have a bottle of water, a bottle of wine. Okay, a bottle of milk. You can have also a can. A can, it's a metallic container. Okay, usually come for fish. Sorry for the drawing. For fish, carnation milk, for instance, a box of crackers. Okay, crackers, remember, and cookies are different. Crackers are salty, cookies are sweet. Okay, then you have a cup, such as a cup of coffee, and a carton contains different boxes on it. This is an example, but can also be a carton of juice. Okay, it's a carton of juice or a carton of milk. Okay, so here you have, do you want anything from the supermarket, Rachel? Oh yes, can you please give me 2 of cookies? Okay, so in this case, what is 2 packs of cookies? Okay, and then it says we don't have anything left. Okay, we don't have anything left. Then it says, yes, we also need of peanut butter. So peanut butter is a jar, and a tube of toothpaste. I think I should make a list. Anything else? Oh yes, can you also get a carton of milk? Can also be a bottle of milk, okay? And a bottle of ketchup, okay? Ketchup. And a can of sardines. So you see, this is quite easy. Okay, so now to conclude, we will have the last listening here. Okay, so get ready.
Unit 5B. Exercise 6. Page 69. Good morning and welcome to Food Today. On today's program, we'll be talking about food that cures. With us in the studio is author and health guru, Joanne Baxter.
Good morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. Now, is it really true that some foods can cure specific ailments?
Yes, it is. We all know about the negative health effects of eating too much junk food. Well, eating enough of the right kinds of food can actually improve our health.
Can you give us an example?
Of course. Let's say someone feels tired all the time and is lacking energy. There could be a number of causes, but a surefire solution is to eat lots of small amounts of whole grains, brown rice, and fish such as salmon or tuna.
Really? That's interesting.
Isn't it? It's much better than taking pills.
That's a good point. What about headaches? Most people would take a pill for that. Is there something we can eat instead?
Sure, celery is very good for curing headaches, and so are cherries. However, it also helps to eat less cheese and chocolate.
I see. What about indigestion? I often suffer from this and I would love to know how to get rid of it quickly without taking medicine.
That's easy. Just eat some raw cabbage and some broccoli. They settle your stomach and help balance your whole digestive system.
Thanks, I'll try that. Well, we're running out of time now. Any other special tips for our listeners before we go?
Yes. The best food to eat to maintain your overall health and keep colds and the flu away are vegetables full of vitamin C, such as asparagus, broccoli, and carrots.
That's really interesting. I'm sure our listeners would like to learn more about this. Perhaps you can come back again and tell us some more about food that cures.
Certainly, I'd love to.
Okay, so here we were able to listen this very important audio. Remember, you can start the video and watch it again for understanding more what they were describing. But as the example says, the first one is if you suffer from headaches, you should eat celery and cherries, as they mentioned in their audio. Then if you suffer from fatigue, okay, and lack of energy, you should eat whole grain food, brown rice, and fish. Okay, so it's this one right here. Okay, whole grain food. Okay, brown rice, which is this type of rice, and fish. Okay, Then if you suffer from indigestion, okay, indigestion, okay, you should eat raw cabbage and broccoli. Raw cabbage, this is cabbage. So not cooked, is raw. Raw is when you don't cook, okay? Vegetables, most of them are eaten raw. Or sushi. And then number 4, okay? Number 4, which is obviously the letter C. If you want to avoid getting colds, okay, and the flu, then you should eat asparagus. These are asparagus, okay, broccoli, okay, broccoli and carrots. So this is the end of this lesson B. So thank you very much for watching this video. We will come up with later the video for lesson C, D, and also another video for lesson E and the rest of the unit. So we hope you have a wonderful day and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.